In today's video, 3 interesting things that I think you'll want to know about Amazon parrots if you like Amazon parrots. Hi, I'm Kaylin, the author of the Parrot Bliss Bond. Please be sure to get your copy on Amazon.com so you have your handbook to help you create that blissful bond with your parrot who's talking. I have 22 species of parrots. These are 2 of them. I love parrots. Parrots are my bliss, and I love trying to help you become blissful and sharing my bliss. Today I wanted to talk to you about 3 interesting things about Amazon parrots because these 2 Amazons chose me. I'm waiting for her to interrupt me. And it was really interesting. I was telling my husband, is it because Henry's up there? Henry, who we adopted 2 months ago, we rescued, he's a Mealy Amazon, and he had been in a sanctuary for 7 years, and then he got moved to a rescue at the Bird Gardens of Naples, a phenomenal rescue, and we brought Henry home. This here is Lorenza. She's a yellow-naped Amazon, and I rescued her several years ago. And they both chose me. Now, what that means to me is that when I met Lorenza, she kept talking to me, and she went as close to the edge of the cage as she could to say hi. Hi, hi, and try to get my attention. Hi. And as I walked around her cage, as I walked away, she followed me like this, as I walked around, never losing sight with me. Lorenza, I don't know if she recognized me or what it was, how it is that she chose me. Henry was a little different, and he's up so high, it's really hard to get him in the picture. There we go. Maybe that's a little better. I don't know. Now the picture's crooked. I like it. Henry was really interesting because when a bird doesn't like you, any bird, one of the things they'll do is they'll either be really loud and kind of go away, I don't like you, or they will get as far away from you in their cage as they can. In other words, their body language, closer up means they want to see you, further away means go away. Henry came close up, he was kind of talking to me, he was animated, and Carrie, who runs the Bird Gardens of Naples, was like, he likes you. And then I came back and I took a video of Henry, maybe you've seen it. It's really cool because later that night, Henry really stuck with me, and so I had taken a little video, and I was watching the video, and I'm like, oh, I think Henry said something about don't want to go, and I'm like, does that mean he doesn't want me to go? Does that mean he doesn't want to go from where he is, the rescue? What does he mean? And I realized that if Henry didn't want anything to do with me, he just would have been far away. He wouldn't have talked to me at all. He would have ignored me, that kind of thing. When a parrot also wants nothing to do with you, one thing they do is sometimes they'll, get as far away as possible and just be quiet, I'm not going to engage you, don't engage me. So I think Henry chose me as well. However, one of the interesting things about Amazons is that I usually know how many species of every parrot there are. With Amazons, there's so many, and new ones get discovered sometimes. A new one was discovered in the Mayan Yucatan 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. So it's I don't even know how many species of Amazons there are. I think there's over 30. And, I don't even know. If you know, please comment below and tell me. But anyway, so one thing about it is here in the U.S., I think Amazons are becoming more and more rare. One reason is, unfortunately, they're loud, and she's not loud. They're loud, and that makes it hard to have them in an apartment, or impossible, and it makes it hard to have them in a house. Yeah, you want my attention. Okay, you. I love you. No, be gentle. I know you're a little nervous with Henry up there. It's okay. He's a good guy. So, they're hard to have as pets in the sense that they're really loud. But the flip side of that is that they make awesome companions, right? Right? Don't you? Ooh. They can easily be your best friend. And someone had commented on one of my videos and had said, my Amazon is a one-person bird, and that means that they pick one person. Lorenza's one person is me. If you're not me and you get near she and I, either the other person getting near us will get bitten or I will, because that's her way of saying this is my person, and I'm going to teach whoever a lesson by biting. And she doesn't bite kindly or gently. She can really bite. So that's the downside of Amazons. They are used to pairing off, and even if they're in a flock with other Amazons, they have the one bonded pair within the safety and security and community of the flock. So that makes them hard. But this person had said, my Amazon's a one-person bird, and it's a problem when people come over. My Amazon's loud, but my Amazon's like my best friend. I had another person comment in one of my videos saying, I can't believe I love my Amazon. I love my Amazon. And I kind of think, the tone that I felt was kind of like, I never thought in a million years I would love an Amazon. I love my Amazon. And I'm like, I get it. I totally get it, right? 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 Lorenza. So, there's some interesting things. On the one hand, they're becoming, I think, more rare. And, I think it's hard for breeders to keep up with all the different Amazon species because there are so many species. So either Amazons are becoming rare or Amazons like Henry are just, they're rare. He was such a find. I mean, to some extent, I had always read and known that Mealies were supposed to be they're the biggest Amazon and they're supposed to be some of the best pets. And so I was always kind of curious about a Mealie, and I was just not at the bird gardens to get a parrot. I was really there to promote them. I really love Carrie's philosophy. I love that she tries to really bring people and parrots together and have a good bond, for them. And I'm like, that's right up my alley. But then I met Henry, and it's like, oh no, species number 22. So there you have it. But I consider myself really fortunate just because Mealy Amazons, I think, I don't know, I have no idea how many people breed them in the US, but I bet it's not very many. They're just becoming more rare. So another thing about an Amazon is they are one of the most rehomed parrots. That means that if you go to rescue, one of the parrot species that they'll have is Amazons. They can be challenging because they really can be loud, but you could see that Lorenzo and I are very bonded. You could see that she's like a really good friend. Before my dad passed away, one of the things that he said is, he goes, you know what? Amazons are very loyal and very protective. So I think it's true. I think that she is just incredible. Lorenza is like my feathered soul sister kind of thing, or feathered soulmate. She definitely, is just such a bond with me. Henry is too, and like I said, I really feel like he chose me. But you can see that Henry spent 7 years, maybe in a cage by himself, but in a sanctuary, not with a human who was like, you're my flock. And because of it, I think that Henry is going to really take some time to really relax, really trust me and my family, and really decide that he can bond and that it's okay, and that he's not going to be abandoned, he's not going to be yelled at, he's not going to be whatever. Instead, like Lorenza, he can really bond with us. He can really find that we can build a a real relationship and a real connection of mutual trust. So, all right. The third thing that I think you'll want to know about Amazon parrots is that they are actually one of the most affectionate parrots I have found. Now, if you're not their one bond, obviously they're not affectionate. They're aggressive and not very nice. If you have a young Amazon, like a Mexican red-headed Amazon, because those are still readily available and relatively speaking easy to find, then you've got a parrot that if you have the whole family handle them, you have such a better chance of them staying friendly with everyone and not becoming a one-person bird. But if you do have a chance to own an Amazon, and it's a bird that you can handle their noise level, because they really are loud, and they aren't all loud, but out of my 4, 3 of them are, and this is the one that's not. Right, sweetie? Right. Hi. Yes. You could see how affectionate she is, and she's a little uncomfortable because of Henry. Like, if Henry wasn't there, it would be a little different. Lorenza will take a nap with me, like right on my chest, and she'll just cuddle with me. I'm never scared that she's gonna hurt me. She's never scared I'm gonna hurt her. As a matter of fact, in my bedroom where the cats live, sometimes the cats will come and lie with us, take a nap with us, and they're not like next to her or anything like that. But she will sleep and she will rest without worrying, because that's just how bonded we are. I will let her, of course, eat food off of my plate, because that's what parrots do, right? Pairs, bonded pairs, they eat together, that kind of thing. And because Lorenza is a human-oriented parrot, she tolerates the rest of the flock, but she's never shown any interest in connecting or bonding with anyone else in the flock. Basically, she chose me before she ever came to my house, and she's never changed her mind. There's no other bird or no other person, good, bad, right, or wrong. There you have it. And that's just the way it is. I don't mind if all of my parrots were like that, it would be a problem. I prefer for my parrots to have another parrot that they like. For example, Henry has really bonded with our Mexican red-headed Amazon, Ursulus, and I've seen them preening each other, and that's so important to me, because, you know, sometimes I will preen Lorenza when she has pin feathers on her neck and her head, because she can't get to those herself. But I can never fulfill her needs the way another parrot could. Because she was obviously raised with a human, she doesn't miss the fact that I can't meet her needs the way another parrot could. So I don't think she misses it, but for the rest of my parrots, like whenever I can have them bond with another parrot, I think it's very fulfilling for them. And it doesn't mean that I can't bond with them. But if you have a chance, and if an Amazon parrot is the right bird for you, they are not nut fat eaters. They need a really low fat diet, which means they need, for example, my Amazons, they're on Sidicus maintenance pellets, and that's the right pellet, the right diet for them. They need no nuts, no seeds, and it doesn't mean like 100% no. It means like I can give it as a treat, but it is not a part of their diet. They're not like, for example, my macaws, who require nut fat in their diet. Like, they have to have that within their diet. So we need to make sure that they get enough every day. These guys are the opposite. They can have fresh vegetables, and, well, they have to have that, right? And they have their pellets, and I really like making sure that they have that balance. But otherwise, I do really watch the diet, because Lorenza came to me with health issues because she had been given a seed-based diet, and I think we've really come a long way in getting her to stabilize, but the damage to her bones and the damage to her muscles is pretty permanent, so that she just, and her liver, she just really has lost the ability to fly. Her bones are weak, because when parrots eat seeds, it inhibits the absorption of calcium. So that means that Lorenza's bones are bad, her veins, her arteries, they have fat in them, and we haven't gone to the vet to take another x-ray. So we don't know if that's changed or not. But, you know, the vet made it sound like, you know, that's just kind of the way it is. Oh, are you cuddling with me? Thank you, love. And so it's really important that if you want an Amazon, you realize that they're incredibly affectionate when they choose you. They can't have fat in their diet. No cheese, no dairy's not for parrots, no nuts, no seeds, or very minimal. And you really do have to watch their diet because these are parrots that really live a long time. Out of all the species of parrots, most parrots will live like 30, 40, 50 years, depending on the species. Amazons are more prone to living, prone's not the right word, Amazons are more likely to live like 60, maybe more. And so you really want to make sure to watch their health, because when you don't, their nails and their beaks grow all funky and curly. It's not good. So you want to really make sure that if this is the right bird for you, an affectionate, loving, loud, low-fat, really health-conscious parrot, then you're going to have a best friend to probably last you your lifetime. Thank you for joining me in this bonded, blissful video. If you have any questions about parrots, please be sure to comment below. Now, if you have a parrot that plucks its feathers or anything like that, make sure that you get it some of Tink's must-have parrot relief. If you have a parrot that, for example, if you adopt an Amazon who's had too much fat and maybe has some problems with fatty liver disease, get Tink's must-have parrot relief. It has the right balance of omegas, and that's something that your vet is going to prescribe, but Tink's oil is going to be a natural balance of those right balance of omegas in the hemp oil. And so instead of getting it made in a lab or specially mixed up that's more expensive, you could just get Tink's oil. And it has some CBD that is basically THC free. They try to extract everything. There might be some trace elements, but it's more than 99% free of it. And so it can really benefit your parrot. It can support a strong immune system and help your parrot out. Please be sure to comment below if you enjoy my videos. It really helps my juice. Make sure to like it and set your preferences so that YouTube lets you know when the next video gets published, usually tomorrow. Thanks for joining me in this video. If you want to connect, come to Facebook on our group at Parrot Bliss Bond. Catch you next time.